focusing on the present moment. What ways could we focus on the present moment if, say, we're feeling an emotion or we're feeling triggered? What things would you do to feel present in the moment?
That's the miracle cure for everything.
Yeah, so that you have the space to think. Often when we are angry, the front part of our brain is not engaged and we act impulsively without really thinking through. I mean, you know, and that's how relationships can be broken up, or you know, we can end up saying things or doing things that we later regret. So, and be aware of situations that drain your energy. Sometimes it's, so I'm not going to go into detail, but there's been a situation where I felt very drained, but it wasn't until being out of that situation that I really realized how draining it was becoming, you know. Yeah,
and that's it.
Journaling would really help with that. Now, to be honest, I don't journal. So
and I do I self-talk,
but I do self-talk. Yeah.
So like that's me is another way of
lovely. So for looking at Christmas presents, and there's some really lovely journals out there. So there's like you can get gratitude journals and other like ones that support. So it has like different pages with different things to support questions for you to really think. So like you can get ones that are on self-awareness. There's some really lovely ones on Amazon, because I bought a couple for some relatives for Christmas. So if you're interested in journaling but haven't done it before, it might be quite nice to get you a journal off Amazon. There's some really beautiful ones on there, and then it can, if you're new to it, having that structure can really help you know what to write, and having those questions, and that they're often different questions on different days, so it stops that repetitive feel to it. Can make you explore more. So yeah, if journaling's a good one. Another thing you can do, we always talk about this, is mindfulness. So focusing on the present moment. What ways could we focus on the present moment if, say, we're feeling an emotion or we're feeling triggered? What things would you do to feel present in the moment?
Well, deep breathing is a very good thing to bring yourself back down. Just a few deep breaths can bring you down from a spiral. But one thing I noticed, I used to have a fierce anxiety around money, and I'd go into this massive spiral around stress around money. And literally, I found if I just wrote down, thank you for the support I have to pay this bill, thank you for this being solved, thank you for money coming easily and abundantly, and I literally instantly feel better. Just saying thank you as if all that stress was already relieved down on a piece of paper. So journaling again, but just saying thank you for this being resolved, thank you for this being resolved, and it literally, in a flip of a switch, helps me. Also, saging my energy, cleansing my aura with sage really helps me when I'm in low energy as well. But it brings me back out of that spiral. It brings me back to that moment. But that breathing technique is very important as well, actually, if you want to come out of a panic or any kind of a downward spiral.
Yeah. Taking a belly breath is really good. It gives you tells your all the neurons in your stomach that is like your second brain, that everything's fine. It's like it's safety. So taking a deep breath, that like where you fill in because often when we breathe in the top half. We don't tend to breathe down there, but that sends a message to your body that you're safe. So that's a really good way. Another common one is the senses one. So you like think of something you can feel, 2 things that you can hear, something you can smell, or 5 colors you can see. That kind of thing can bring you in the present moment. And having a practice of meditation is always really
meditation. That's the miracle cure for everything. Meditation. If just anything, if you're even a sleep meditation, press play and go to sleep. This stuff works miracles and can bring you back into a place of self-awareness and brings you back to yourself. It really is. It's beautiful. Like, I love doing my morning meditations where I'll sit upright and, I'll do when I'm going to bed, I'll lie down and do my meditations. But doing an upright meditation, and you can actually feel the energy come through your body. you know, you can feel the tingles, you can feel that awareness, you can feel that energy in your heart center. So to be so aware of even the tiniest sensations in your body through meditation is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. Like doing a body scan is another one, isn't it?
Mm.
So thinking about each part of your body, that's another way of
Yeah,
being
bring the awareness to each section and feel
feel the
the whole
temperature.
event.
Can you feel anything touching it? Can you feel
Mm.
your clothes on your shoulders? What, is it hot? Is it
Your
cold?
heart beating in your chest.
Yeah, and then your internal. Yeah, can you feel your heart? Can you feel the blood? That's a really good way of being mindful. Also, nature is a great one.
Oh, that's miracle cure as well. This is the thing, people living in the hustle and bustle of the cities, even bring a plant into your home. You know, get any kind of nature into it. Go for that walk in the woods. Oh my God, that's medicine for the soul. That really is.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that it's been scientifically proven as well that having that feeling of awe can reduce stress and improve well-being. So regularly having a moment where you're like, oh, that's beautiful, you know. And I at the moment the sunrises are just so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Oh,
On the
my.
way to work, I drive past Gorton Monastery, which is in Manchester. And if you get there just at the right time, you can see the windows and the sun coming through the windows in all the pinks and the orange. It's beautiful. Sometimes I'm like, don't forget to look at the road, Carol, because I'm like, ooh.
I have been saying, drive past trees
Yeah,
going, what's
that's the car. Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, oh, don't be too mindful. Be mindful of the road as well. Yeah. Another thing, which is an interesting one, and you would have to choose the right person, but feedback seeking. So sometimes we can think that we are self-aware, but we could be lying to ourselves. So if there is somebody who you trust that is kind, but not kind, but
not
will be
nice.
a little ruthless, you know, like kind but honest.
Yeah.
Uh, and ask them what do you think are my strengths and my weaknesses, and see if it aligns with what you think. And that doesn't necessarily mean they're right and you're wrong, but it certainly stretches your perception of yourself, because sometimes we can think that we're viewed a certain way, or that we're good at something or really bad at something. I think that's quite a common thing, that we think we're not good at something, and actually that's not the world's perception of us. I know
That's it, yeah. Like, you know, if you say I believe in myself, you're going to believe it less than somebody else saying I believe.
Yeah.
So it is good to get that positive feedback as well as the negative reinforcement as well.
Yeah. That's why it's important you choose the right person,
Yeah.
because also you might have somebody who's overly negative and not supportive, and that's not going to help you very much.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
you might also have somebody who's nice, not
Too
kind,
nice,
nice,
yeah.
and doesn't want to be honest with you, and so that's not so helpful. And then another one is trying to press pause before reacting, so putting some space between the feeling and the behavior that will follow. And so things that you can do for that is sort of mindful practices, breathing,
Exactly.
particularly if it's an angry one. Often I feel like anger is the one where we often don't have very long between
Yeah.
reacting, and
Like
that's
I've noticed myself do that. Like, you know, with a text message or something that would have triggered me. Initially, I'd be I'd be typing, I'd be fucking typing. But now I'm like, no, I'm going to put the phone away for half an hour and I'm going to think about that message. And then I'm going to respond to it. And then I end up responding really happy. And it's just like, okay, you know, because it took a minute to become aware of what I was being triggered by.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Like, is it
Yeah.
write it, delete it, put it away, have a
Yeah.
think about it, come back. A good one though is self-soothing things. So a good way to self-soothe is stroking down your arms. So if you're feeling cross, taking some deep breaths, belly breaths, holding it in, breathing out slowly, stroking, or as if you're washing your hands. That's another self-soothing one. So not trying to get rid of the emotion, but trying to lessen the intensity of it.
Kind of nurture yourself through it.
Yeah, so that you have the space to think. Often when we are angry, the front part of our brain is not engaged and we act impulsively without really thinking through. I mean, you know, and that's how relationships can be broken up, or you know, we can end up saying things or doing things that we later regret. So managing to put some space in between the trigger, the emotion, and your reaction. Don't react. What's the other word? I'm trying to think. Don't react. Respond. That's the
Is
one.
it?
Yeah.
But that's it.
So you read that message and you're like, I'm not. If I message now, it will be a reaction. So put it away. Think about it. Calm down, and then respond.
And respond.
Yeah. So putting distance. Let's have a look. I think that's all of my suggestions. Have you got any other suggestions for people who want to be more self-aware?
Just as everything we've said, really, but just introspect. You know, be curious about yourself. Be curious about what's in here, because we're afraid of our dark side, but that's where the color lies. When we balance our light and our dark, when we open ourselves up to our true selves, that's where the magic lies. So be curious about what's inside you, because you'll discover so much magic if you just ask yourself a few questions. And that's how you get to, like, our unconscious mind hides so much from us as a way of protection. But if you ask yourself a simple question, you know, tell me my secrets. Why do I feel this way? You know what I mean? This is it's a simple thing. Just ask yourself how you are and why you're feeling that way. It's just a great way to start. And just be aware of how, as you said, how you react or respond. You know, people, just be aware of your environment. You know, be aware of your needs, but be aware of the people around you as well. You know, that's very important as well.
Yeah.
Just to be aware of your surroundings and your patterns and your life.
Yeah. How other people can influence you. Yeah. As well. Like, so if you're not being the best version of yourself when you're with some people, or other people bring out the best in you, it's making that choice to spend more time around the people that bring out the best in you. Yeah.
Change your environment. If you want to change,
blaming the other people, because it's like, at the end of the day, if I go,
you're choosing this.
It's my choice. You know, I can stand there and listen to other people moan and not get involved in it. So it would still be my choice to stand there and listen to it, or stand there and join in with it. So I would still be responsible for it. So instead of just like blaming the other people, that's their choice. Take the responsibility to just not be in those rooms, or don't spend as much time with those people that maybe it's harder to stay by your values around.
Exactly. That's it. You know what? I've had to do that myself. Like, literally, I just can't be around negative talk anymore. I have to just leave the situation. It I don't know, it does something to my soul. It just makes me feel so uncomfortable to hear negative talk. Like, so that's it. Change your environment. If you want to change a habit, change your environment. Become aware of the habit. Become aware of the environment. Become aware of the language. You know, and change that. You know, become aware of your values, as you said before.
Yeah. And I think another important one is when you're getting curious, say you've got an emotion and you're like, isn't that interesting? Why did that bother me? Think about, don't have too many whys, because why encourages excuses. You're trying to look for a reason, and that there often is a reason in your past. I'm not saying there isn't, but also you want to be progressive. So yes, we need to acknowledge the past, but how are we going to move forward? Because we're in the present moment and we have control over the present moment, and that's going to change the future. So when we're thinking about why, also make sure you're thinking about what and how. So for example, with the children, I get angry with them because they're not tidying up. instead of saying, why is that bothering me? What is it about what they're doing that is annoying me? And the thing that they're doing is the thing that I'm not so great at doing. So that's why it's annoying me. It's showing me myself. So it's more progressive for yourself to think of what and how.
Exactly.
How am I going to stop that triggering me in the future? How? Perhaps tidying a bit more myself.
Well, that's it. What do I need to change within myself to make myself not be triggered by this? And I love that. I love the awareness you get. Like, you know, you can watch a movie or a program, you know, that you've seen before, and there could have been something in that was really triggering for you, and you watch that again, you're like, that doesn't bother me anymore. And you're like, yes, I'm fucking heated. And you know, to get that reminder that you are actually, you know, something that once triggered you and you're not getting triggered by it before. That's what the introspection is all about. It's literally changing your behavior so that you can fix that trigger. Yeah. So the next time it happens, or maybe hopefully the next time it won't happen, because you've changed your environment or your energy for it not to happen.
Yeah. I think it's important to remember that, like, if somebody says something to you and it upsets you, really the only reason that somebody's opinion about you is going to upset you is either because you either value their opinion more than your own, perhaps they might be, you know, so for example in karate, if sensei says my kick's not very good, I'm going to listen to him because he knows more about it. His opinion of my kick is more important than mine, obviously. But then if it's just somebody, say, you know, somebody who doesn't do karate says, oh, you're rubbish at karate, that would only bother me if I was like, if I deeply believed that there was truth in it, because otherwise I'd be like, what do you know about karate? So if somebody is saying something or behaving a certain way and you're finding it triggering, it's probably because somewhere there is a deep belief that you need to work on, that you agree with it. Exactly. You know, and
that's it. If you find yourself getting frustrated, overly frustrated or angry by something somebody says, it's like, no, maybe there's some truth there.
Yeah. So there's either some truth in it or that you believe it yourself, and maybe you need to do some healing there. Yeah. Wonderful. Well, it's been an hour.
Has it? Oh my God, I love that. The time just flies, so it does.